Right here, at home. Protect the out. We put the work in. Let's finish. Come on, let's do this. Man, we up to 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
See, we dream chase, cause that's all we was given to start with. Then we realized the dream was obtainable. Now look at us.
All right, what's going on, Eagles World? Welcome to the Main Thing Podcast. It's your boy, Mr. Owens, and after further review, the call stands. I'm still official with no stripes.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Big Huss, bringing you all your Eagles latest. Let's get to it, man.
Let's get to it, bro. Big week, bro. You know how we feel about the opening game. You see what I'm saying? Anytime we can see our birds play, it's an honor, it's a pleasure. And now that we're starting our content journey to be covering them, it's a different honor. And again, like I said, pleasure to be doing this. So, like, how you feeling, man? How you feeling about this week, bro? We getting ready for the Packers?
Hey, man, this is week 1. Game time. The action is about to get real, bro. Like,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
ready for it. I'm ready for it. I've been waiting damn near all year for this.
Yes,
So
sir.
that we finally got through training camp, preseason. We narrowed the roster down, so we know who our 53-man roster is going to be. Shit, I'm excited.
I'm super excited, man. Super excited. Like you said,
I'm
the 53-man
excited, so.
roster is amazing. How do you feel about the 53-man roster? I know we had to make some tough cuts and everything like that, but the final 53, what do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Give some input. Now come in.
Overall, the roster, as far as who I had versus what the actual roster was I thought was pretty much spot on.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that Paris Campbell was going to make the initial 53. I was kind of shocked about that one, just given his longevity in the league, his connection with Nick Sirianni and all. I genuinely thought he was going to make that. To see him go to the practice squad, I mean, like, we were able to bring him back because
Right.
I honestly thought he might have got claimed, but be able to bring him back and all was smooth. But I thought he was going to make that initial 53. My man Ricks made that, John. Hey.
Mr.
I know he
Eli.
might not get a lot of PT this year. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, he might not get a lot of tick this year, but I think he could be a key component to our success this year. I like the upside with Rick. He's shown that he can play in the league. Just, you know, he was somewhat playing out of position last year due to some injuries that we had him being transitioned from the outside to the slot and going back and forth. But on the outside, I genuinely think that he could be a key piece for us if anything was to go wrong.
Mm-hmm. And I agree, Huss. You did initially say that Eli Ricks was going to make the roster, and what I like about him, he's young. He's been in the league for 2-3 years now, and he's gotten live game action, live game reps. That's what matters the most, just to have that experience and gain that knowledge, especially having Big Play Slay and having the opportunity to learn from him over the course of the time that he's been here. That pays dividends down the road, because you don't know. I mean, in the league, you know, people get injured week in and week out, so it's next man up mentality. So just to have that depth on a roster, that's major.
Definitely, I couldn't agree more. And as we've been proven over the years, depth is key as far as making a long run in the playoffs.
Yes, correct.
And reaching the Super Bowl, you need depth on your roster. I feel that we have some good depth this year at some very key positions, some young depth, you know. And I'm interested to see what some of these young boys can bring to the table, man.
Yeah,
you know, the lights are about to be on. It's time to go perform.
Yeah, so most definitely, Huss. So like as years pass, you know, Howie has had loyalty to fault. He usually has like the keeping around the veterans too long. You see what I'm saying? They get past their prime. You know, it's a loyalty to fault, and I don't blame him. But what I do like about what Howie is doing now is getting that influx of youth in the building and getting them on the field and playing. You can't keep coddling people and things like that, especially if you're a ball player. You just got to get out there and learn. Get your feet in the fire. You see what I'm saying? If you make a mistake, you feel me, that's when you go back to the drawing board and correct it and watch film. You see what I'm saying? And critique yourself and get better. Listen to the coaching staff. And that's why I feel that with Howie going with this youth movement with a little bit of the veteran presence still there, like Slay, a BG, a Lane Johnson, Lane Johnson,
My lot of
Amaya Lotta. You see what I'm saying? It's a balance, and that's what you need. You see what I'm saying? So I'm glad that Howie starting to notice, like, hey, we can play these young bulls. You see what I'm saying? Let them get out there, let them get wet. You see what I'm saying? Real quick, no baddie. But what's it called? Just to have a growth. You see what I'm saying? I like the fact that Howie has gone in that direction.
I mean, and I couldn't agree more. And when you look at it, especially when you're taking some of these players as high value, high round draft picks, look, man, I expect you to be on the field producing
from day one.
And I'm not saying that you have to from day one, and I'm not saying you have to come out and be this automatic star. That's those type players are rare. They don't come by every day, but I expect to see a level of production and contribution from those type draft picks early. Like I said, you're going to have some bumps and bruises along the way, but from those bumps and bruises with some good coaching, on the right drive, you learn and you become a better player.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you start looking into situations that we're in now and you have Super Bowl runs and you have that experience under your belt to lean on. So like if a Keely Ringo person, I know he got some snaps last year. If he gets thrown in there, it won't seem so big to him because you've already played and you've had a little bit of success as a rookie and then going in through training camp and everything else. So it does matter. We have to start playing the youth that we have. I mean, take the burns that come with it, but I'm sure we'll have a lot of rewards because I trust the coaching staff and the players in which we bring in. So
for sure. Anything that Howie Roseman does, he's the best GM in the world.
Man.
Anything Howie Roseman does, and Howie we trust, literally, and Howie we trust. Anything that he does, he puts us in the best position to win. He always puts a competitive roster together and something that we can be proud to back and call ourselves Philadelphia Eagle fans. That's something that we've been blessed with for what I'll say 2 decades, 2+ decades.
He's had his ups and downs, but he for sure been hitting lately though.
Oh, for sure. Howie ski mask. But so
ski mask.
Ski. So what's it called with the 53? With the 53, right? It was some interesting picks. For the most part, we knew who was going to get chosen. Like the 22, of course, the offensive starters, the defensive starters.
For sure.
But with the other 31, how did you feel that Howie? What are some picks? I mean, some choices that you feel Howie hit on. Some that you feel like maybe what's it called? We should have kept on the roster, and things of that nature.
So I'm gonna give you one that kind of happened after the initial 53 man, and that was us bringing in Byron Young and then cutting Marlon T. Look, Marlon T, as far as I'm concerned, has earned his stripes with us. He's put some good film on display. He's been a great depth piece for us for the last couple years. I genuinely thought that he deserved to be on this roster. And for the Raiders to, I believe, let go of Byron Young, going into his second year, 3rd round pick for them.
Pick 70
guy coming out of Alabama. Yeah. He was pick 70 out of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a bit alarming. The upside is there, but it's just that I don't know, for a team to do that so sudden on a draft pick, it just raises questions for me. So I think that might have been one of my biggest concerns. I don't even want to call it concerns, question marks, alongside with the whole James Bradbury situation. For the life of me, I just I don't understand why he's still on the roster. I know he'll be out for 6 to 8 weeks. I wish him a speedy recovery. I don't want anything to happen to any player in the league, any type of injury. I know it comes along with the game, but I don't wish that on anyone. But I just can't figure out why he's still here.
Right.
So that those two might be some of my biggest question marks right now, as far as the team goes. But what you think, man? What you think about the 53 man? We can go through it here in a minute when you're done.
For sure. Like you said, one of the head scratching ones was Marlon T, because he's been with us for 2-3 seasons, or maybe 4. He was like picked in round 5,
It's been
round
a little
6.
while.
Yeah, it's been a while. He was picked in like round 5 or 6 or something like that. And even through the changes of the defense, you see what I'm saying? He'll come in, give solid snaps. He knows his responsibility. He knows how to play his gap techniques and things like that. So for him to just be cut outright and then to make room for a guy, like you said, that just was picked last year, even though the Raiders do have a new coaching regime with Antonio Pierce over there, it's just like you said, it's a little alarming that you get rid of somebody after 1 year that was a third-round pick.
Man.
Third-round picks, like I know a lot of people don't understand the draft pick process and things like that, but a third-round pick is a costly pick. Usually, you still have some talent within the third round, solid talent. And like you said, for him to just be cut after 1 year is kind of alarming. But with him coming into our culture, and with him going to Alabama, he knows expectations. We do have a few roll tide players on our team. So you know that they're going to bring him into the fold. Luckily, we don't like need him immediately to make an impact. With him being a D tackle, with us having Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, and Milton Williams. Everybody keeps forgetting about Milton Williams within the fold, but we will want to see if we can get some type of meaningful snaps from him, especially with him being a third rounder. So we are hopefully we get a lot of potential out of him.
Yeah, and look, man, I know that he'll be a depth piece, but he's going to get meaningful snaps this year, especially in this scheme. Now, whether they line him up at the actual nose tackle position or at a, I guess within this scheme, it would be a 5 technique.
5 technique. 5 technique.
Mm-hmm. It's unclear, but the potential's there. It's just the questions around why the Raiders would necessarily make this move after him initially making their 53-man is raised a couple flags. But no, the potential is definitely there. Yeah, a bit head scratching. The potential's there, though. Like you said, the culture for us is there, so he can't come into that room loafing, lacking, on a lazy type tip. It's not going to fly well with that group. So I expect him to get him up to speed. It's just we'll see. We'll see. It was just a kind of a weird move, if I'm honest.
For sure.
But going into this 53-man roster, you want to give a quick breakdown of who made it per position?
For sure. So obviously, we'll start with the quarterbacks. The 3 that made it: QB1, Tanner McKee, and then Kenny Pickett. And then you got the running backs: Saquon Barkley, Kenneth Gainwell, Will Shipley. The receivers, we retained 5: AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, Britton Covey, Johnny Wilson. With the tight ends, Dallas Goedert and Grant Calcaterra. Offensive line: Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Mekhi Becton, Jordan Mailata, Tyler Steen, Fred Johnson, Trevor Keegan, Darian Kennard, who was also a shocking keep. He had a few good practices. Yeah, he had like a few good practices and things like that. And then like every time I saw him in the game, he was doing okay. But I guess Stoutland, he knows best. He knows the type of players that he wants to keep on the roster, so that he can help build up to. And tap into their potential. Yeah, so with Darian Kennard, it's just like with Stoutland, you know he usually keeps people in the building. I mean, not in the building, I'm sorry. He keeps people on a roster that he sees potential in. Another example is Fred Johnson. We had a story come out a little bit where he thanked Stoutland for basically like changing his life and changing his life in terms of the view of football. You see what I'm saying? So Stoutland, to me, is arguably the greatest position coach in the entire NFL. He can get the best out of anybody. So with Darian Kennard, he knows best. I'm not one to say I don't talent evaluate. You see what I'm saying? Offensive lineman. So if Stoutland chose Darian Kennard, we're gonna rock with Darian Kennard and go with Stout's judgment.
For sure. So going with the D line, we kept Thomas Booker, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Moro Ajomo. Marlon T had originally made the roster, but we briefly spoke on that. We have released him and brought Byron Young in. And then we have Milton Williams, who I think is going to have a breakout year. I'm really looking forward to what he's going to do.
Pay him.
Hey, he's on. Hey, they're going. Brink Truck is on his way. Please
pay him.
He's going to get paid for sure.
Not let that man get out the building.
For sure. No, we can't. Then at edge rusher, we kept 6 with Brandon Graham, Bryce Huff, the rookie Jalix Hutt, Patrick Johnson, who he's worked for that. He earned that.
Solid.
Nolan Smith and Josh Sweat. Linebackers are Zach Bond, Kobe Dean, Axman Jr., Ben Van Sumeren, and Devin White. And if I'm not mistaken,
Benny.
no. Okay, no, what it was, we put Oren Burks on the practice roster. That's what it was.
Yeah, it's solid pickup, solid addition back to the practice roster.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
As far as our defensive backfield, we got the Ghosts, James Bradbury, Cooper DeJean, CJ GJ, Avante Maddox, Tristan McCullum, Quinyon Mitchell, Eli Ricks, Keely Ringo, Isaiah Rogers, and Big Play Slay. Our specialists are Jake the Snake, Jake Elliott, Rick Lovato, and Brandon Mann as our punter. What you think about the defense, bro? Anybody who you're looking forward to seeing this year? Like, think I'll have a breakout year?
We briefly touched on him, Milton Williams. I feel like Milton Williams is about to have an explosive year. Every year he's been with us, I believe he's in year 5 now, or so. Year 4.
So 4 or 5,
Something
4 or 5,
4 or
something
5,
like that.
right?
It's definitely
The
contract year,
Louisiana Tech 5th round pick.
Yeah.
He's every year he's been
Yes.
with us. He has shown flashes and gotten better every single year. And we know the only reason, to be honest with you, that he hasn't gotten more exposure to the starting role is because we invested a 1st round pick in a person who I'm high on for this year, Jordan Davis. But with Milton Williams, it's just every single year he gets better, he gets stronger, he knows the game, he understands his assignment, and he's always in the backfield creating havoc. That's one guy who I'm expecting a major year out of. One other guy who I'm expecting a major year out of is Devin White. It's redemption tour. Devin White gonna prove to everybody he one of the ones. Stop playing with him. He came out of LSU. Not too many linebackers going to top 5. Put some respect on his name. You see what I'm saying? So Devin White, I feel like how he left Tampa, you see what I'm saying? It was a nasty situation. He's come on, said that he's put it behind him, and I full wholeheartedly believe that he has put that in the past, and he has a chip on his shoulder. As we all know as ball players, when you got a chip on the shoulder, you got something to prove. You see what I'm saying? And him coming to Philly, the type of city we are, that we're gritty. You see what I'm saying? With dog mentality, we're hungry. You see what I'm saying? We take everything. You see what I'm saying? If not even given, we're going to take and earn our respect. He's coming to the right situation to man Vic Fangio's defense, be the man in the middle, be the green dot. You see what I'm saying? And prove to again that he's one of the top linebackers in this league.
For sure. I think within this scheme, he is definitely going to get off. He'll be able to run and hit. You know, honestly, I see Fangio blitzing him a lot. I know he had asked for that during I don't know if it was
I want to say mini camp. Like way back.
Was it? Yeah, way back when he was like, man, blitz me. You know, it's between him and Nakobe Dean, we might have some of the best blitzing linebackers. I like seeing Nakobe Dean going downhill. You know, it's always a good thing when he's going downhill. You know, he's gotten better in his pass game. But with those two going downhill, blitz packages, stuff in the run, I think the linebacker core will actually be very surprising this year. Very surprising this year. So I'm definitely looking forward to them. Yeah, for sure.
I know me and you talked extensively about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's your 53-man roster for the 2024 Philadelphia Eagles NFL season.
Hold on, Huss. My bad. We got to give ourselves credit, bro. For the 53-man roster, Huss, we literally picked 5 players that were on the bubble to make the 53-man roster. We chose Tristan McCullum, who was a long shot before. We chose Patrick Johnson. We chose Thomas Booker. We chose Ben Van Sumeren and Eli Ricks. That's major kudos for us being able to evaluate and just see the potential in these players to make that 53-man roster. That's something that people can't do every day and predict talent that's not supposed to get on that roster.
And look, man, the 5 players that you name all deserve to be on the roster. They do. They all show flashes during preseason training camp. You saw where their potential and ability can be an asset to this team this year. So, you know, man, a round of applause to those guys. You know, round of applause to everybody who made it. But for those who were French players or bubble players, you made the roster. I want to tip my hat to you, man. You deserve it. Celebrate. Let's get to work. You know what I'm saying? It's time to eat.
It's time, man.
So as far as the injury report was fairly good. You just have your pup players with you have Sidney Brown. You've added James Bradbury, and I believe Albert O is still on that list.
I believe so.
Those will be your 3 players, but for the most part, everybody else is fairly healthy. So we'll be going into week 1 with our main core guys. Team should be ready to go. Should be ready to go.
Locked and loaded.
Come on, man. Friday, baby,
Hey,
8:15.
you know the vibe. September 6th. Y'all know where to be at Peacock. And if y'all don't got Peacock, y'all better find Peacock and stop playing for real. Shout out to
Okay.
Peacock.
Hey, just wait on it. We gonna be doing some live game streams too. So we're gonna bring that to y'all as well for real. Just wait on that. But till then, man, y'all better find a way to go watch these birds, man.
Come on, if you know, you know.
Straight up. Straight up. So get into the game. Man. What you looking for? Anybody you looking for? What you expect to see? How you feeling?
Honestly, man, I'm ecstatic for this game. I'm ecstatic that we're getting an opportunity to play the Packers. That everybody's talking, oh, they're probably going to come out the NFC or one of the ones being a contender in the NFC conference. I'm looking forward. It's going to be a solid game. It's a great test. That's what I'll say. Coming out the gate, even though it's in a neutral site. It's a great test to go against the Packers, who won one playoff game last year. Got an up and coming young rookie. I mean, not rookie. I'm sorry. Up and coming young quarterback in Jordan Love. I believe they picked up Xavier McKinney on defense as well from the Giants. They got Josh Jacobs from the Raiders. So they got a mix. Romeo Dobbs. The list goes on. They got a mix of great players. But what I'm looking forward to is to see if we're over last year completely. I know that they always say that the Super Bowl hangover is real. And I believe we kind of saw it firsthand last year. But I'm eager to see, especially in these first 4 weeks. I know we focus on one game at a time. But the aspirations that we have in Philadelphia, these first 4 weeks are crucial. The first month of football is crucial. So especially with this game, being able to go against Green Bay to see where our offense is. I know me and you had a conversation prior, and we were talking about if the offense should have played or shouldn't have played, and we gave our opinions and things like that. But we feel that the offense is going to be clicking on all cylinders. Adding Saquon Barkley and Jahan Dotson into this offensive mix, it's just mind blowing. It's nothing you can do if you want to play zone, if you want to play man. Pick your mismatch at the end of the day. So I'm eager to see how the offense flows, especially since, like we said, that they didn't play in preseason. But I do also want to see Vic Fangio getting the defense up and ready to perform, because the Green Bay Packers do have a solid offense. And so we're definitely going to have to go out there and limit our mistakes, limit big plays, tackle. We need to tackle. That's what I need to see as well, because we need to tackle, be disciplined. We need that's the only way that you play winning football is tackling on the defensive side of the ball. So my big thing on defense is tackling in a continuity within a new scheme. But on offense, I feel like we're gonna be clicking on all cylinders. I don't feel like we're gonna play with these boys. I feel like we're about to really shock the world and let people know who the Philadelphia Eagles are, and everybody, oh, they got this roster, they got this, they got the best top 3 roster in the league. We're gonna put y'all on notice and show y'all what we about to do this year for real.
For sure. Like you said, this will be a great test for us week 1. It'll show us where we are as a team, where we are as units, whether it be offense, defense, special teams. And this gives us the opportunity, like you said, to truly put all of last year's rumors and highs and lows to bed. This will be our first opportunity to move forward, go 1-0, and show, man, 2024 is not 2023. No, we are not the last year's Eagles. As far as defense goes, I really want to see how Vic Fangio and this defense look. Because as far as the Packers go offensively, they have some weapons. They have a good 3-4 receivers. They just brought in another running back in Josh Jacobs. You have a young star quarterback, coming up. So the offense is there. So I feel like this will be a good barometer for where our defense is and where we stand as far as what we need to work on and things that we have already got down and maybe we want to sharpen, But so I really want to see how this young but old mix of defensive players gel and look. Because last year's defense was atrocious.
Bottom of the barrel.
Okay. Oh man, literally bottom of the barrel, So I want to see some passion. I want to see short tackling. I want to see a silent football when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. As far as offensively, I don't really have too many concerns.
No.
Like I said, this offense is stacked from the rooter to the tutor. Okay, we have legit all-pro weapons
at every level
for real.
Stop playing.
Okay. So I know we had talked briefly about whether a starter should have played in the preseason or not. I had said yes, but that was just being on how we ended last year. I thought that as a team, offensively, defensively, whatever, we could have used a little bit of confidence going into week 1, but I expect to see this offense hitting the ground running, especially now with Kellen Moore at the helm. He's going to have a whole bunch of new tricks and nuances, new schemes, plays that drawn up that we've never seen. I'm excited to see what he does with all these shiny weapons because he has weapons galore right now.
Mm-hmm.
So those are just a couple of the things I'm looking for. And then as far as going back to the Packers offense, they have a lot of skill positions, but I'm not sure as to how strong their O-line is.
Mm-hmm.
And for us defensively, especially with us having now a young D-line, you really don't have an old head outside of BG. On that front line as far as your defense goes.
Mm-hmm.
This would be a nice game to see our defensive line get off. Nolan get out there, get a sack. I want to see these guys turning up feasting in this game. Okay. Bryce Huss, like I want to see these guys getting off, especially because the NFL is saying that the Packers are supposed to be one of the contenders or one of the top teams coming out of the NFC. So to see our D-line, our young D-line get off and, kind of make their mark right out the gate, I think would be big for the team and the defense overall.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Amen, bro. That's how I feel. Honestly, like the defensive line has to create pressure. For us, I know that our offense can carry us and put up 30 points a game. We know this. But for our defense to be where we need them to be throughout the season and going into the playoffs, as you alluded before, we have deep aspirations going to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl. So we need our defense to start out fast, create pressure, generate some sacks, create quarterback hurries, anything to get Jordan Love off of his spot. Because he's more of a rhythm quarterback. He's drop 3-step, 5-step, 7-step. He's boom, 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 throw. So we need to get him off his spot, make him miss his mark. And then, as we spoke on before, they got Josh Jacobs, very talented running back. I don't see the run game giving up anything to Josh Jacobs. So it's like we said before.
I think we'll be stout in the run game this year.
Yeah, we'll be stout in the run game. So as we said before, we feel like the only way that the Packers can have some success on the offensive side of the ball is going through the air. So of course, with our defense being 31st or 32nd pass defense last year,
it was bottom of the barrel. Let's put it like that. It wasn't anything good.
You feel me? So what's it called? Like especially we do have some new players on the back end and some familiar faces on the back end. But in order to help, it's a team sport. In order to help the back end, the front end has to win. When you put pressure on the quarterback and get him off his spot and rush the ball out of his hands, that helps the back end and the secondary because they don't have to cover for as long. So again, we go back to the defensive line being a major group that has to step up for us to be very successful on the defensive side of the ball.
For sure. And just going off the numbers last year, the Packers are a receiving core that is built on committee.
Mm-hmm.
You do not have a bona fide number one receiver in that group. So there's not one receiver that you could look at as a defender, like, hey, man, if we shut down X receiver, we'll be pretty much good. This receiving game gets done by a committee where anybody can touch the ball at any given moment. They had, I believe it was maybe 3 players or 4 players with over 500 yards receiving last year. So that lets you know Jordan Love was spreading the ball around. There was no set one player who was getting majority of the targets. And for us, with us being I don't want to say newer defense, but we have some new additions. This will be a good test for everybody because everybody has to stay on their P's and Q's. It's not if Slade straps up their big time guy, then I can kind of lax off. No, man, you got to stay on your D's, stay on your toes. So I think this, like I said, I think coming out the gate, I would have rather been a true home game, but being at a neutral site, this would be a good barometer as to where the Philadelphia Eagles stand.
Mm-hmm. And you already know
we can start off 1-0, start off hot.
Start off high. We ain't gonna make no excuses, even though it was supposed to be a home game in the link, which we got stripped of. NFL, we on y'all, man. Y'all supposed to give us that. You see what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna make no excuses. We're gonna go to Brazil, and handle our business and do what we got to do. So with that, with all that knowledge that we just dropped on everybody, right? What you got for the prediction for this game, man, on Friday, bro?
Game predictions. Now, I don't went back and forth on this a few times. At first when the game first came about, and they said we'll be playing in Brazil versus the Packers, I was like, man, this is gonna be a close game. Like, I don't know, new coordinators, new defense, do this, do that. I'm like, I'm not too sure. But the more I've watched, the more I've read, the notes on training camps and seen the preseason games, and now looking at the roster, I don't think it's gonna be close in the end. I might have to go with 34-14 on the prediction. You
Mm.
know, get them by a 20 piece. I don't
Starting
think
off
we'll shut them out.
spooky. Starting off
You
real
know?
spooky. Happy early Halloween. 34-14.
Okay,
Ooh.
34-14. I don't think we'll shut them out because, like I said, they do have some weapons on that offense. So I got them scoring 2 touchdowns. But hey, man, you can't stop this attack. You can't stop this attack.
Okay.
You know. So yeah, 34-14. That'll be my score prediction for the game.
That's a solid score
What
prediction.
you got?
It's crazy, like you said. I was going back and forth between the predictions. Like I never, when the schedule was announced, and I saw that we were playing the Packers for Week 1. I never really thought that the game was going to be close. I never really thought we were going to win by a field goal or like a last second touchdown or anything like that. I at least thought we were going to win by 10. The more and more that we have gone through minicamp, OTAs, training camp, the rosters being constructed to how he's liking, I feel like it's not going to be close. I see us winning 31-14, 31-17, but I can't cheat and make 2 score predictions. So I'm gonna go with my gut. Mama always say, go with your intuition, go with your gut. So I'm gonna go with 31-14. I'm gonna go with 31-14. I feel like,
all right.
yeah, I feel like we're gonna put the pause on the boys down in San Paulo. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna learn some
Definitely
new dances
boots
and
on the
everything when
boys.
we down there. You feel me? Like we about to turn Brazil into a whole Eagles nation for real. Like it's not gonna be what y'all thought it was really gonna be. We're about to put boots on these boys and really throw them out the club. Get out the club, man. You don't belong here. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man, get them out of here, bro. But yeah, I got a score prediction 31-14.
31-14. All right. So I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say the game happens and the final is close, whether it be like a 34-31 or a 24-21, 21-17. Does it change your view of the Philadelphia Eagles for this year?
That's a valid question, bro. That's a valid question. Does it change my view if it's a close game?
Shit, what if even if we take an L?
Now
change your view of the roster.
I'm gonna stop that right there. Well, you know we ain't taking no L. That ain't, you know, that ain't
we
ain't taking no L.
But I got
you gotta throw every scenario in there, right? I got one shoulder,
just to see what
shoulder. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, you know we ain't taking no L's though. But yeah, if it's a close game, I'm not gonna have a different view outlook on the Eagles like you touched before. I will probably attribute it to if the offense especially starts slow. We didn't get a series, we didn't get a drive, we didn't get anything in preseason. So that's the only thing that I kind of fear, that we might start slow, like for like the first few minutes or even maybe the first quarter. And Eagle fans, please don't panic. Please don't panic. Don't. Oh, I knew it. Y'all going crazy for what? Calm down, relax, be patient. Everything is going to work itself out. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, even if it's a close game, it's not going to change my view or outlook. Again, I stand on it, and y'all can document it. Y'all can screen, record. I don't care what y'all do. We will be the Super Bowl champs come February 2025. But we start with this Week 1 in Green Bay. And like I said, I don't think it's even going to be close, Brody.
Nah, I genuinely don't think it's going to be close either, for real. But if the game is close, I'm not going to say that it's going to change my outlook on the team. It's more so, I think that I would sit back and have to look at then the demeanor of the team, because without question, the talent is there.
Mm-hmm.
But if maybe the game is close or it doesn't look too pretty or look how it should, or like I said, there's always a possibility of a L. They say any given Sunday. I know it's on a Friday, but any given Sunday. You have to wonder, does that bad team morale creep back in or set back in or carry over from last year? Because I think so, more so last year, once again, it was more of a mental state or fog that we couldn't get out of.
Right.
But you have to wonder, does that creep back around? I mean, if you come out here, you get the win, and if it's a decisive win, I think you kind of put that to bed. But if it's close or it doesn't look as pretty, how would the team handle it? How would the coaches handle it? It's just something to kind of keep an eye on, because morale in your headspace is everything as you progress through the season, because it's a long season. And you can't kind of start off Week 1 already with a negative mindset, and it bodes for a terrible season. You know, so but I'm interested to see. I don't
Most
think it'll be close.
No.
I generally do not. Let me just say that again. I do not think it'll be close. But for whatever the reason it is, and it doesn't turn out in our favor, I do want to see how this team responds.
Right.
Because it is about responding and responding appropriately in the correct way.
Yeah. And you already know sports, the main word in sports is always overcoming adversity. It's always going to be
For sure.
adversity during a season. You got
For
your
sure.
highs, you got your lows. It's all about how you respond. How are we going to come together and remember all the sacrifices, the investments that we made in each other? You see what I'm saying? All these workouts, all this running, all this, you see what I'm saying? Practice that we've done. You see what I'm saying? And then splitting that with family time and everything. You think about all that. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like we have the veteran presence and then also the young dogs on the team that if they're not going to put their head down. You see what I'm saying? I feel like that was last year. You feel me? Because nobody knew what was going on in that building. But I feel like this year it was growth. You see what I'm saying? I see that everybody is on the same accord. Everybody believes in one another. And we got that dog mentality again. Like we got that swagger back.
Oh, for sure. It's definitely, without question, a different vibe this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting more 2017 Super Bowl vibes with this
For
team,
sure.
you know, versus even last year.
For
you
sure.
know,
Mm-hmm.
so I agree with you 1,000% there. I think that we do have the right, not only players, but coaches in place to get us through any down moments that we may have. And even when we have the high moments, keep the team kind of level as to where we need to be and focus on the main objective, more so this year than last year, without question.
I know. You already know. Keep the main thing. The main
thing.
You know what I mean? Stop playing. So y'all real quick, look, y'all go birds that subscribe button, y'all go birds that comment section, and go birds that Liberty Bell looking thing, also known as the notification button, so that you know when Swoop is coming with all the latest and greatest Eagles news and updates. So Huss, with that being said, you got anything to finish out this video, bro?
Man, go birds. Let's go down to Brazil and get this dub. That's all. I'm ready for Friday, big dog.
Come on,
That's
man.
it. That's it, Mr. Owens. I am ready for Friday. But
can't
other than
get
that,
enough.
hey, come on now. Peace, love, prosperity. I love y'all. Let's get it, man. It's game week.
Hey, get it. Hey, yo, go birds, go birds, go birds. Hey, we out of here, man.
We out.
It was I was gonna make a lot of money doing what I wanted to do. I went after it, and it was a struggle to achieve it. But you know what? I caught that bitch. Dream chasing.